Ready, set, go.
I never really know what to do when games just kind of open on silence. Welcome to In the Pause Between the Ringing. That is the name of this game. Yeah, this one looks just so ridiculously colorful. A little superliminally. Okay, hello. Oh, hi. This work is adapted from an unpublished story by Miramar Hassan, written by the Gujarati poet in 1958 for the editor of the Malwa Chronicle. Okay, alright. It is reproduced here with permission from the Society for Preservation of Obscure Fictions. Or the SPOF. The SPOF. Imagine being a part of that society. That must be a fascinating life to live. To be complete is to be enclosed, to find yourself contained within the margins of your own body and the boundaries of collective reason. To be complete is to be able to see an edge to history. Okay. I hear what you're saying, Mamar, in the pause between the ringing. Music by Salil Bayani. Great. This is beautiful. Hello? I sure hope my computer can handle this. This is low. Can I pick up the phone? Oh, there we go. Hello? Hello? Hello. Namaskar Sahib. An electric burst crackles in response, and then pauses. I wish to speak to a ghost. Oh, interesting. Why do you want to speak to a ghost? Seems like a fair question. Sometimes, says the voice, after a moment of thought. A ghost is the first historian of time. Sometimes hers is the only recollection, and I am a connoisseur of such residue, or I am a sutradhar. Sutradhar. Those DHs will get you. Tricky. A narrator, holder of threads and the giver of meaning. So tell me, is there a ghost that I can speak to? Sure there is. Or should I go, Sutradhar, I'll be praised. Dare I hope that my story is done and my part played? Tell me, are you here to grant me release from this purgatory? Are you here to narrate an end to my story? Narrate an end to your story, asked the voice. Whatever do you mean? Who are you? Are you the ghost? Yes. I am the ghost you seek. I am the boot in this town, awaiting the day when my story is made whole again. Is that not why you asked to speak to a ghost? Oh, no, laments the voice. I seek a ghost, yes, but Sahib, Sahib, I know nothing about your particular predicament. I seek a ghost to help me remember. Remember? Remember what? My stories. Tales of immortal viceroys and indolent pashas, of crocodile processions and the marriage of the mountains, stories from across the border where I no longer belong, stories that were taken from me, some lost and others forgotten. Lost. What manner of Sutradhara are you? Curse you and your tribe of insouciant tyrants, purveyors of deceit and polluters of time. But Sahib, says the voice and stops, as if hesitant to commit to a course that would entangle its search within mine own. Curse you. Okay. I am shouting now, fearful of losing this one chance to escape. Each grain of time that I must abide scours my soul. Let me loose from the entanglement of my tale, or I shall drag you to this netherworld of a town to await eternity alongside me. Patience, Sahib. Sabrakaro is how it seems to be pronounced, but I'm pretty sure it's not, says the Sutradhar, its voice quavering. Whether with distance or the strain of our conversation, I cannot tell. You mentioned a town, Sahib. Tell me more about this town. Perhaps I will remember some of your story, were you to describe to me where you are. What can I say of the town? It has narrow lanes and tall buildings. Oh, here we are. Narrow lanes, tall buildings. We sure have arrived. This is so friggin' cool. This is so cool. This is so pretty. I love this. Okay, open the door with E. Walk up the stairs. It's honestly, it looks... I like the slight element of decay in here. I almost like this look more than Superliminal, which, don't tell them I said that. Okay, I'm going down here, I guess. Oh, excuse me. Can I not open this door? There we go. There we go. I was getting a little weird there. Ooh. Where the frick am I, man? Where the gosh heck am I? Where have I... Did I just go in a circle? That doesn't make sense. How did I... Wait. Oh, it's non-Euclidean, isn't it? Oh, it is. It's goddamn non-Euclidean. For those of you who don't know what that means, non-Euclidean refers to games or otherwise, yeah, mainly games that don't adhere to regular laws of spatial physics. Yeah, so anytime that you'll like turn a corner and make it, and it'll feel like you've gone on a loop, that's non-Euclidean. Am I supposed to go anywhere in particular? Is there a specific place I'm supposed to go here? Am I supposed to answer this giant phone? What can I say of the town? It has narrow lanes and tall buildings. I haunt this town, yes. I wander through its clinics and offices, halls and passages. The empty boarding houses and carkhanas have been home to me. I linger in the small corner where they kept the shrine, and I wait beside doorways that are shuttered. But most of all, I haunt this room. A room? All stories ferment in rooms. Tell me about this room that you haunt. Describe it to me. I mean, every story that I've ever written was written in a room. I haven't written a single outdoor room or outdoor story. I can see the sky where the roof has fallen. Sure can. I sure can. There it is. Look at this. Ooh. Oh, I like the freaking paper airplanes. That's real neat. This is real neat. Okay. I really hope... I pity whoever needs to keep all these boxes and storage things organized. Oh, we're back here. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll head back to this phone then. I see it now. I see it's a heap clear as day. The voice reverberates with the panic of a sudden realization. I know the place you speak of. Why, it is the records room at Telephone Nagar. It could be no other, of that I am certain. Blessed be Allah's mercy. Allah's mercy. You remember my story. I know the place, Sahib. I know where you... Oh, wait. But you have been to Telephone Nagar. I insist. You have to know something of my predicament. Ghosts rarely remain unremarked. A forgettable detail, a chance encounter. Tell me the most poignant tale from Telephone Nagar. Alright, Sahib, since you insist, I will tell you the story of Iqbal and the death of Telephone Nagar. I lean into the receiver. That's not how you spell receiver, but it's not a huge issue.
Our story begins on Wednesday, the 28th of August 1833, when slavery was abolished everywhere, except in territories ruled by the East India Company. It was then that an Irish doctor named William Brooke O'Shaughnessy decided that the world was porous and riddled with invisible arteries that only he could see. Even as slave owners were being paid compensation, as if freedom was an infringement that had to be reparated, William sat in a garret overlooking the Hooghly River and pondered the arterial conduits of trade and commerce that had washed him like an errant corpuscle upon the shores of this enslaved country.
Hang on. There were a lot of complicated words there. Even as slave owners were being paid compensation, as if freedom was an infringement that had to be reparated. Okay. William sat in a garret overlooking the Hooghly River and pondered the arterial conduits washed. Okay, got it. So William O'Shaughnessy joined the company?
Yes, and propelled by such sanguine visions, he percolated into Hindustan, soaking through barriers of Bengal and
Why do we
Odisha
have
as an
voice acting now?
surgeon, seeping into Bihar as an opium merchant, diffusing across the Malwa landscape in search of ore for the mint, and permeating into history with his telegraph wires. From pharmacology to the galvanic cell, William used every science known to man to piece together a country that baffled him and threatened to close its paws against his probing investigations.
Okay, alright, but riddle me this, friend, Sahib. What does a pharmacologist have to do with Telephone Nagar and my plight? What's this all gotta do with me? How do I fit into this narrative is what I'm asking.
Yes, I am getting to that.
Okay.
10 years into this project, William O'Shaughnessy found himself in the desert of Toke, along with a grand caravan of miners and salt merchants, looking for veins of copper. No settlements punctuated this land except the strange scaffolds built by nomadic barbers who eked a miserable existence here. The desert, which began north of Mutsiapur, infringed into the territories of Sindh with an unnerving abandon. No delineations marked this border, and in a country that was slowly being distributed into small containers, this was indeed a strange place.
I have been to the desert of Talk. It is a searing wasteland, I'm assuming is correct. Oh, here we are. The desert of Talk. What's all these vortexes for? What's with all the circles? This is neat. I'm not entirely sure what to make of it. Oh, okay, there's the giant... Why is everything all distorted? Why is everything all wibbly wobbly? What's up with that? What's with the wiggles? Or it's like a bubble texture. That's so cool. But like you can also see like the line where they had to like double it up, which is fun. Okay, but it makes a nice almost like disjointed effect, that line in the middle. Oh man. I am enjoying this immensely. This is so cool. Okay, tell me more of the story.
But O'Shaughnessy, to whom the world was porous regardless of where he might be, could see naught but fissures and crevices in this land, holes in the earth that leaked its minerals like open wounds. and here amidst meager deposits of salt and copper he discovered a deep fissure full of bakelite. So verdant was the find, that within a few feet of digging into the crust, the small nodules of bakelite gave way to crystalline obelisks and protrusions of diodes and receivers. Within 20 feet, deposits of complete telephones started to emerge from the ground.
Oh, deposits of complete telephones? Within a few feet of digging into the crust, the small nodules of bakelite gave way to crystalline obelisks and protrusions of dials and receivers. Oh, so this is why we're just finding telephones randomly, is because they're naturally occurring telephones, is I'm guessing the story here. That's really cool. Yes, telephones ooze onto the very surface here. So rich are the telephone mines.
Indeed, rich were the mines. But this verdant find was located in that part of Tok which was deep within the independent territory of Sindh. Though this might not have been evident to O'Shaughnessy at the time of discovery, it was certainly clear to the head assayer who had procured a remarkable map for this expedition. I cannot tell you what this realization led to, but suffice to say that the head assayer was a distant cousin of Charles Napier, who called his illegal annexation of Sindh that very year
a noble piece of rascality.
Great. If I get to the end of my life and earn the title Noble Piece of Rascality, I'll have considered my time well spent. How do you punish a man if he steals an entire country? What exactly do you do with that?
Possession of the mines now secure, William O'Shaughnessy embarked upon the greatest mining endeavor of 19th century India. Teams of workers were conscripted and local barbers coerced to dig the first exploratory shafts. Teakwood trunks from the vasta forests were dragged like a giant caterpillar, to be hewn into shacks and offices, and to shore the mud and rock of the tunnels being dug. Geologists, cavalrymen and medical practitioners, telegraph operators, wiremen, electricians, bankers, hostelers and camp cooks, entertainers and crooks, all descended upon the site as the first tunnels were inaugurated.
Wow, it's like a freaking gold rush, but instead it's bakelite, I guess. Telephones. Okay, what year was this?
Of what use are exact dates and years?
I don't know.
Suffice to say that the mines, which were as yet shallow, only about 30 feet deep, had already begun to yield great numbers of telephones. Some small and delicate, and some as large as an elephant.
Yes, I've seen such grand specimens in the town, the elephant-sized telephones. I'm familiar with them.
Observation decks and elevator shafts were built. Great rotating wheels were erected to pump air into the mine. For one whole week, a train of camels unloaded brass lamps from the ore that were stored in a newly built warehouse. Clothing karkhanas were set up that worked also jute into hard shoes for the miners and made cotton scarves for the supervising Europeans. Elephants were shipped to the inhospitable desert at great cost to help pull and tug the telephones from their conic bed.
What? I'm still not entirely sure as to... I'm having a hard time. This is very well written to the point where I'm starting to be convinced that this actually happened. But there's no such thing as naturally occurring telephones. It doesn't happen. But alas. What about the people? What about these people? Oh, hello. D-pad and mouse click to...
Yes, the people. The well mining crews from Srinagar and Burma, from Ceylon and Hampi and Kadirmuga, started to descend upon the settlement, and were readily hired. Abutting the mine shafts, there erupted countless hovels of worker colonies, or what were to be later called khanparas, and a little removed from the mines, there arose larger buildings for quarters and offices, churches and workshops, each a thin-walled ramshackle structure that hooked into the sky. Until from the nothingness of the desert, there emerged a misshapen town.
I'm gonna get to the misshapen town indeed. I want to look at this picture because it's cool. There's a lot going on here. Oh, they're also okay. So there's a telephone like inlaid into their red thing here, but also their face. This guy's like eyes are visible, but the rest of his. This is so cool. This is so neat. I love this. Okay, misshapen town indeed. Oh, we're back here. Okay. What exactly am I supposed to be doing here then? Should I go through this door? Is this the door I'm supposed to go through? Seems like it. Or wait, no. Wait. No, this is still gonna take me back here. Unless I go through this door now? But this is, I'm pretty sure, where I came from. Pretty sure this is where I came from. Yeah. Yeah, they're not letting me back in there. Okay. Should I just click on the telephone again?
William
Misshapen town indeed.
Who was appointed Director General of Telegraphs for his discovery of the Bakelite pits, received a knighthood in 1866 for the telephone mines.
Wow, nice
And
job,
when he
William.
left the town a little after its founding, he gave a name to the settlement, calling it Telephone Nigger.
Ah. A fateful name it has proven.
And with newfound prosperity, there appeared like a tide of locusts hordes of officers and revenue clerks, managers and traders,
Oh boy.
accountants and munshi, members of that peculiar race who speak both Firangi and Hindustani. A race of administrative service officers, the lower magistrates and the adjunct collectors. Indians who had been trained abroad for just such tasks of collating the whims of change.
Nice. So, vultures. I spit in derision at the memory of these baboos. Baboos. I'm not sure what baboos means, but from reading from context, I'm guessing it's not a particularly positive term. Ooh, look at these fine gentlemen. Look at these scholars. Look at them go.
Discrete boundaries. Where else could you live in such proximity to the British, the Dutch or the Americans who worked alongside them? Where else were you allowed to so clearly see what being an equal might be like? Not that they were equal. There were separate living quarters, of course, separate methods and places of worship, and even separate streets. But to be so close to the foreigners was exhilarating.
Oh, I'm sure. Foolish to be so enthralled, though.
Perhaps they were
This is a
foolish.
weird, dialogue.
Remark these men, for they are crucial to our tale. It was these men, these officers of the company, who on a borderless land, discovered a finite margin. For it was against the nebulous assault of sand and mud, and the uncertainties of the mining pits, that they could delineate their own form and purpose. Somehow the harsh land erased other loyalties and helped keep the delicate balance of their lives in careful accord with their rulers. To this strange milieu arrived Iqbal.
Iqbal? Who is this Iqbal fellow?
Yes, Iqbal the barrister.
Iqbal the barrister. I
Iqbal
see.
the unfortunate, or simply Iqbal. He came to this town riding a roving tide of humanity and attempting to efface the terrible years he had spent at Hertfordshire before being appointed the administrator of the Ambrose Shaft, the deepest active mine at Telephone Nigger.
I see.
Save for his morning rounds, Iqbal rarely went to the actual mine. The rest of the day he spent in the cavernous records hall, maintaining a careful roster for the teams under his charge. It is the same hall that you haunt today, turning such records as have survived into paper planes in your boredom.
Oh, yes, I remember the paper planes. Yes. Rest of the day spent in the cavernous records hall, maintaining... Okay, so the person that I said I felt bad for having to manage all that was, in fact, poor Iqbal. Ah. Aha, yes. I remember all these things. Are we just... There's a little bit of looping going on here. A little bit of looping rooms here. I've been here a few times now. Under new context, however. The context is very important. These big old telephones that just seem to be springing out of the ground. Springing out of the ground. Why is this one... Nope. Why are you vibrating? You doing okay? Telephone, you okay? You doing alright? Oh, no speaking now? Okay. Perhaps it was the emptiness of this hall, when the rest of the town was crowded, but something gave Iqbal room to ponder. Why was the telephone mined in only a single language, he wondered. Each telephone, once extracted, was refined and processed such that it would only allow English to be spoken through its receiver. No other language would transmit. Classic English. Yikes. That's too bad. Okay.
Perhaps it was the emptiness of this hall when the rest of the town was crowded.
Ma'am.
But something
Where were
you?
you?
Room to ponder. Why was the telephone mined in only a single language?
Ma'am.
He wondered. Each telephone, once extracted...
No. You had your chance. I read for you.
Only allow English to be spoken through its receiver. No other language would transmit. And this bothered Iqbal, who knew, as we all do, that telephones in India have long predated the British Raj. Why even Tughlaq was known to have shifted to Daltarbad to avail the magnificent, naturally exposed telephone that sat like a boulder upon his palace grounds.
And what of the phones at Badami? Even the Chalukya were known to use them. Chalukya.
Indeed.
Chalukya.
And in the presence of such history, Iqbal found it difficult to believe that some small change in the refinement or extraction process might not yield a modern Bakelite telephone that could speak in many languages, perhaps even all of them. Such radical thoughts he kept to himself, and, when time permitted, he experimented, for his was the legacy of O'Shaughnessy, and he found it easy to bend wires and tubes to his will. And much as O'Shaughnessy had done, he too began to think of the world as a porous body waiting to be punctured by cables and pipes carrying blood and sound.
Yeah, poke, my boy. Poke.
Reticent though he was, word of Iqbal's experiments percolated through the town and roused a deep anxiety in his fellow
I like that
officers.
word.
Those who had prided themselves on their certainties saw in Iqbal's endeavor a malevolent threat to their way of life.
Of
For
course,
their certainties
naturally.
were born of a particular kind of fear.
A particular kind of fear.
The emblem of their station as the chosen ones. They feared its proliferation and they feared its authority. To so debate such an august instrument was tantamount to sacrilege. Of this they were certain.
I see. And violence comes easily to men who are certain. Sure, I guess that's... Yeah, I guess that's a thing. That's a true thing.
Yes, it does.
Suppose.
And at Telefonica, this violence erupted when Iqbal proclaimed that he had perfected the first Urdu telephone, and that he awaited a phone call to test its efficacy. It was this proclamation that killed Iqbal. They pushed him into a shaft that he supervised, and he fell 1,203 feet into a hole called Ambrose.
Yikes.
Until every bone was crushed like tinder, and his flesh so deeply lacerated that it left a streak of blood marking the passage of his body down the shaft.
Allah have mercy. Good Lord.
The next day,
Both.
with forced joviality, lest the horror of their crime be made apparent, the murderers
forced joviality.
filed into
True.
the record's room with a new camaraderie. As they reached for their muster sheets, they were startled to discover Iqbal seated upon his usual dhurri, waiting besides his telephone. His face was still lacerated and his mien was the color of a white dhoti. His limbs contorted in odd shapes with bones protruding the flesh, and his teeth rattled as he spoke in garbled bursts. But there
Great.
he was, Iqbal, or what was left of him.
A ghost. I see. I understand. Am I talking to Iqbal? Am I talking to the ghost, Iqbal? Is that what's happening
The
here?
sight of Iqbal animated the memory of his murder. The records room was boarded up, though no one remarked upon the folly of entombing a ghost. People were prosecuted. The mines were abandoned. The shafts destroyed in a riot. The city dwindled, and then, just as suddenly as it had begun, Telephone Nigger became an empty husk floating upon a sea of sand, leaving just the ghost of Iqbal awaiting his phone call.
Do you believe I am Iqbal? I ask, wondering if I indeed am Iqbal.
I do not know, Sahib. All I can recall is Iqbal
Hello?
also awaited a phone call
Someone wanna get
in the
that?
empty town of Telephone Nigger. That he too awaited a release from this purgatory that was to be heralded by a ringing, to which he would
Aha.
say,
Hello? Okay, is it Namaskar Sahib. An electric burst crackles in response, and then pauses. I wish to speak to a ghost. Who are you? I am a weaver of circumstance and the giver of meaning. I am a connoisseur of memory. I am the last author and the first historian of time. I am a sutradhar, a narrator. So tell me, is there a ghost that I can speak to? Yes, there is. I am a ghost. Oh, Sutradhar, long have I awaited your arrival. Time has silted around me, enfolding me in a history where I do not belong. Complete the story. Narrate an end to this endless waiting. Complete your story, asked the voice. Whatever do you mean? I cannot bear to persist anymore. I have waited an eternity for this liberation. Send me back to the furrows of memory where I can be forgotten. Is that not why you have called over the telephone, asking to speak to a ghost? Oh, no, laments the voice. I seek a ghost, Sahib, yes. But I know nothing about your particular predicament. I seek a ghost to help me remember. Remember? Remember what? My stories. Okay. Stories that were taken from me, some lost and others forgotten. Okay. Curse you. Okay. Patience. Sabracaro. What can I say of the town? What? I am very confused now. Okay. I can see it is a cavernous room covered by a broken roof. It's still the same though. How does this work? I'm confused. I'm very confused. I'm very, very confused. Is it gonna take me in a loop again? Voice reverberates with... Okay. Records room. Where is it? Frontiers is a frontier town, Sahib, and it straddles a border near the desert of Talk. It is a town that ripened and burst long ago and spewed so many tales from its verdant core that I can no longer discern distinct stories from my memory of the place. But surely you must know something that can help. A fragment, that is all I need. anything that explains why I am condemned to wait here. Okay. Tell you the story of Iqbal. Okay.
Our story begins on Wednesday.
Gosh
the
dang it.
28th of
Okay. Alright.
Yes, and propelled by such sanguine vision,
Yep.
he percolated into Hindustan,
Percolating again.
broken through barriers of Bengal.
So I'm back here again. I'm so confused. Wait. Oh. Hello. Am I supposed to be over here? Is this somewhere I'm not supposed to be? I wonder. Am I not supposed to be around here? I've found the edge of the game. Ah? I'm definitely not supposed to be here. But it's okay. It's cool. It's fine. Okay, here I am now. Oh. Okay, so that's a wall there. That's also a wall there. That's also... Oh dear. Also a wall. Okay. I am unsure. Oh. Oh. Hello, this is neat. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Okay, that was nice. That was pretty neat. That was a fun ride. Was I supposed to do anything with that? Okay, so this seems to be going in a loop, which is interesting. I'm not sure if they're intending this to be an end, but I'm gonna end it here. So, yeah, I do like if it's written to be circular. It seems like it heralded by a ringing to which he would say hello. So the question is, Iqbal. Let me see here. Iqbal also awaited a phone call and he awaited a release from his purgatory that was to be heralded by a ringing to which he would say hello. So is he talking to himself? No, he's talking to a narrator. Wait, I am so confused. Yes, there is. I am a ghost. Fascinating. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. This is a really fascinating work of art that we've just found, but I'm gonna end it here because I feel like that's okay. This is not to say that I don't want to get to the end. It's just that I think that this is, the best sense of an ending that this game has. So with that, I'm going to move on to another game tonight. This was lovely. I loved the environments that they made. It was so pretty and well lit, very well lit. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or live or on the VOD, glad you're here. If you're watching on Twitch and you haven't followed, I would love it if you did that. If you have done that and you haven't subscribed, That'd be real sick. You get access to our Discord server. And you get some exclusive emotes. Pretty cool stuff. If you want to support the channel in other ways, we got merch over at streamlabs.com/tallankyguys/merch. Got some cool stuff there. If you're watching on YouTube, you can like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Head over to Twitch and do stuff there if you want. And yeah, thanks so much. I'll see you later.